Hello guys, my name is Justice Bartholomew Abasi. I welcome you to this online class on algorithm and flowchart. This class will be divided into two parts, Part 1 and Part 2. We will start with Part 1, and in Part 1, we'll be looking into the meaning of algorithm and flowchart, functions of algorithm, characteristics of algorithm, and how to write a good algorithm. But before we go into all that, I believe that by now we must have learned one or two things about programming languages and how we use them to write instructions to the computer and get the computer to help us solve most of our everyday problems. Now, in solving any problem, we must follow some procedural steps. Sometimes we may write these steps down for problems that we have not mastered the solution too well, and sometimes we may not for problems that we have known the solution too well. This is the case with computer programming. In designing a program, the programmer expresses the solution to a problem as a logically ordered set of procedures known as program plan. Algorithm and flowchart are categorized under program plan in the software development process. And as program plans, they serve as a guide to writing the actual codes or instructions, just as a building plan guides a builder to erect a building to the correct specifications. So, what are algorithm and flowchart? Let us look at the meaning. Basically, an algorithm can be defined as a procedure or series of finite steps that can be used in solving a problem. In computer programming, algorithm describes the logical sequence of operations to be performed by a program. An algorithm defines a set of instructions to be executed in a certain order to get the desired output. That is about algorithm. And what is a flowchart? A flowchart can be defined as a diagrammatic representation of the sequence of logical steps of a problem. A flowchart, also referred to as the pictorial representation of an algorithm. It is a diagram in which special symbols are used to represent the logics and flow of execution in an algorithm. Now let us look at functions of algorithm. Important functions of algorithm in computer programming include 1. Algorithm ensures improved efficiency of computer program. Secondly, algorithm helps in proper utilization of resources. And then finally, algorithm sees to the overall cost reduction during program development. Now, talking about helping to improve efficiency of computer program. There are different ways of solving a problem in programming. However, the efficiency of the methods available vary. Some methods are well suited to give more accurate answers than others. Algorithms are used to find the best possible way of solving a problem. In doing so, they improve the efficiency of the program. An algorithm can be used to improve the speed at which a program executes a problem. A single algorithm has the correct potential of reducing the time that a program takes to solve a problem. Now, on proper utilization of resources. A typical computer has different resources. One of them is computer memory. During the execution phase, a computer program will require some amount of memory. Some programs use more memory space than others. The usage of computer memory depends on the algorithm that has been used. The right choice of an algorithm will ensure that a program consumes the least amount of memory. And apart from memory, the algorithm can determine the amount of processing power that is needed by a program. Now, on cost reduction, I want us to know that every resource that comes with a computer has a price tag. You can decide to use an algorithm that will use the least resources. The leaner the resources, the lesser the cost. Characteristics of algorithm. A good algorithm should have the following characteristics. Number 1 is precision. Number 2, finiteness. Number 3, uniqueness. Number 4, input. Number 5, output. Number 6, independence. Number 7, flexibility. And number 8, feasibility. On precision, we say that algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. On finiteness, algorithm must terminate after a finite number of steps. On uniqueness, results of each step must be uniquely defined and only depend on the input and the result of the preceding steps. On input, algorithm should have 0 or more well-defined inputs. On output, algorithm should have 1 or more well-defined outputs. On independence, algorithm should have step-by-step directions which should be independent of any programming language or code. Flexibility. It should be possible to make changes in the algorithm without putting so much effort. Then on feasibility, it must be feasible to execute each instruction without running into problems. Now let us look at how we can write a good algorithm. But before we go into that, I want to tell us that there is no well-defined standard for writing algorithms, as algorithms are problem and resource dependent. However, when writing algorithm, the following should be noted if we want to write a good algorithm. Number 1, algorithms are written in step-by-step manner. Number 2, always begin writing algorithm with a title and start as step 1 and end the algorithm with stop as the last step. Number 3, algorithms are never written to support a particular programming code. However, one can use common basic code constructs shared by most programming languages, such as do, for, while, if else, print, and so on and so forth, to write algorithm. Number 4, we should know very well the problem domain for which we are designing a solution before writing algorithm. If you look at the right side of the screen, you will see an example of an algorithm. The title of the algorithm is algorithm to add 2 integer numbers, and you will see numbers from 1 to 7. We call them steps. That is step 1 to 7. On the first step, you have start there. Second step, declare 3 integers a, b, and c. Step 3, input values of a and b. Step 4, add values of a and b. Step 5, store output of step 4 in C. Step 6, print C. Then the final step, stop. Now this is a very good example of how an algorithm looks like. Now if you look at the characteristics of algorithm that we discussed previously, you see that this example here captures those characteristics. So in writing your own algorithm, make sure that it captures all the characteristics or most of the characteristics of a good algorithm. Now at this point, we'll look at the summary of what we have learned so far. So far, we have learned that an algorithm is a procedure or series of finite steps that can be used for solving a problem. We also learned that a flowchart is a diagram in which special symbols are used to represent the logics and flow of execution in an algorithm. We also talked about functions of algorithm to include improving the efficiency of computer program, ensuring proper utilization of resources, and reduction of cost. We also discussed that some of the features of good algorithm include precision, finiteness, uniqueness, input, output, independence, flexibility, and feasibility. And lastly, we talked about factors to note if we want to write a good algorithm. At this point, we'll be given a take-home assignment. In your assignment, I will want you to write any other two characteristics of algorithm. Number 2, write a correct algorithm to get the average of 3 numbers. Now, I will see you in the part 2 of this class. Bye.